Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Atzenhofer Studio and the Wade and Carter Show, live from the Atzenhofer Studio, as we are every single Monday to Friday, getting your work day going and your vacation day as well. Who knows? Oh, you're trying to find my weather. You'll never find my weather.
The Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at A.T. Dillon Feed. For over 50 years, the little gin that could, just helping you and yours. If you need cattle pens, if you need gates, if you need T-posts, if you need riatas for your rodeo efforts, if you need oats for old Ned.
If you want some good old-fashioned sodas made with sugar and not
it's a cool place. It's like the old town drugstore for farmers and ranchers.
It's got a really good grape soda in there. I can't remember the brand, but it's actually.
Is it not a knee high?
No.
It's a generic grape soda.
That's a name. It's like a small little boutique soda maker. It's good stuff.
Is that right?
Yep. Got a good orange soda too.
What's the alcohol content?
5.7%.
It's 80 proof, dude. 76 degrees under partly cloudy skies in Victoria, Texas, heading to a high today of 97.
Pretty much like we had yesterday today.
What happened to those things they used to put on there this time of year? Heat index warning, intensive heat warning. Did they just accept that this is the new normal?
This is summer? Well, I don't think it is. This was just always normal. They've just taught us to fear these things when we used to embrace them and go outside and run around as kids.
No, you can't do that.
Now we have to sit inside the air conditioning, get fat, lazy, slovenly, and have a bunch of health afflictions.
It is interesting how you make these stereotypes. Like in stereotype, when I say Asian, it would be normal for you to think Buddha, but you don't. You think lithe, fit, maybe kung fu.
Well, I think they get their own category at the Grammys now.
That's interesting.
Isn't that the stupidest? And where are all the leftists going? That's racist.
It is racist. The BTS, I think BTS is the name of the
big
group.
Korean K-pop group that I think won a Grammy. They basically said,
we don't want that category.
Nope.
And hey, man, hats off to those young folks. They are young, like old teenagers.
They're the new kids on the block from Korea.
Right.
And the recording industry feels threatened by a bunch of Asian pop singers who have come in and taken over their industry. And now the old guard doesn't want them to win a Grammy. So they've set aside their own category for them.
Best Asian act pop. Well,
something.
It's something like that. It's a best Asian Grammy.
Recording group or something. That's the category now.
And it would be as if you said best Native American. I mean, they act like, they treat it like we're giving them, that genre more recognition. In reality, they're taking, like, let's just say, artist of the year away from the Asians is what they're doing. They're saying, and they did it for years inadvertently with the R&B category. They made them compete in different little boxes, and yet it's art, right? It's supposed to evolve.
The difference there is, though, I think Eminem won some of those awards.
Yeah,
but I don't know that if can you win the best Asian category if you're a white dude?
No,
probably not.
Everybody was kung fu. Do the Trump dance while you kung fu fight.
No, but I mean, I think that's great by BTS to say, you know what? We don't want any part of your category.
Yeah.
That separates us. But see, this is what the left has done. They separate and divide, and then they blame the right for being the ones that sow division in this country.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about Zoran Mondani and his just blatant display that he just doesn't know anything. I think it's important that I explain. I often, not unlike you, I put thought into what I wear.
Is there something there?
Well, there was just something there.
Yeah. Apparently a few somethings.
I wear things that are appropriate to the moment. Today, I'm wearing my Justin Verlander jersey. There's a specific series of reasons. And I'm wearing my Astros hat because this is a good-looking hat.
It is a good-looking hat.
And I bought it at Dyken Park. So the jersey of Verlander is
Minute Maid still rolls off my tongue a lot.
Sir?
Minute Maid still rolls off my tongue quicker than
But I have no problem with Dyken.
I don't either. It's just it was Minute Maid for so long, I still call it Minute Maid.
I have a feeling if we got on the roof, we'd find a bunch of Carrier and Ream air conditioners, but I have no problem with Dyken. The Astros it's money time. And you've got to make the call. And I'm going to tell you, August 3rd is the trade deadline. And I'm telling you, if the Astros beat the Rangers tonight, Scott Tomko, no offense, you're going to see the Astros make a move. The Astros will, at the very least, be tied for first place in the American League West. And I believe Dana Brown has the authority to pull the trigger on either a trade or an acquisition, a rent an arm, if you will. Did you know that Lance McCullers has already been designated for assignment wherever he went?
Rangers lost last night.
Yeah.
And so the Astros enter this weekend series at home against Texas, just a half game back.
Is it a series or one game?
No, it's a series.
Folks, if the Astros win this series, you're going to see the Astros announce a big acquisition because they actually could win the division, and winning the division, and now making the playoffs is no joy for me. You've got to accept that if you can make it to the playoffs with an experienced playoff team like the Astros, you have an opportunity to honestly win it all. You really do. There was a time, I said it here. I would keep Hader, Alvarez, Pena, and me personally, I would keep Cam Smith. Everybody else is free game, including Hunter Brown.
But Altuve ain't going anywhere.
Right. Nobody wants Altuve because he's making $35 million a year. And I don't fault him for that. Jose Altuve, no doubt, has been integral in this 10-year run that we've had.
And he's been the face of the franchise for 15.
And he was on the team, folks, when they lost back-to-back, lost 100 games a year.
Yeah.
The guy has earned it. And baseball has long been a team, ask Bobby Bonilla, baseball has long been a sport that pays people retroactively. You know, you can sign a huge deal. I'm not going to Indianapolis unless I get, and they'll give a quarterback a huge deal to begin his career. He may spend 3 years on the bench making $40 million a year. The Major League Baseball pays you retroactively. Typically,
most sports do towards the end of your career. But I mean, if they were smart,
unless you're Ohtani,
yeah, the players won't do it, but they should be incentive based. But then that hurts the bench player who comes off the bench and is just a good pinch hitter, but doesn't hit, hits 280 as a pinch hitter, which is pretty good.
No, it is. Then you got Tariq Skubal, pitcher for the Detroit Tigers,
back-to-back reigning
Cy Young winner.
And chances are good now the Tigers are going to move him because they're just terrible.
Because they suck. I mean, they're a 500 ball club. He's, I think, 7-5.
Yeah.
He's 7-5 with like a 2.69. He's having basically on any other team, he's having he might be 9-3.
And the
with
Tigers,
the Astros, he might be 9-3.
Like 5 games back of the final wild card spot with I think five teams to jump.
You want to know who he is? He's Nolan Ryan with the Astros. That's who he is. When Nolan Ryan was with the Astros and the Astros were the pre-Mike Scott years, the pre-Bob Nepper years.
Yeah, when Nolan
got here, 79, 80, and they just sucked. And it was funny because the Astrodome, you would get 25,000 people a night when Nolan pitched, and honest to goodness, 11,000 on the nights that he didn't. People went to watch Nolan Ryan. Well, this Skubal guy is he's very humble, and he talked the other day, he got a little bit emotional talking about he had reached the 1,000 strikeout plateau. Now, I want to give you an idea of where that ranks. I mean, he has 1,000. He made the comment, it means a lot to me. If you'd have told me as a 19-year-old kid that I would one day strike out 1,000 big leaguers, I would have not believed it. He goes, it is a big deal, but I guess it's not that big a deal. The guy sitting next to me has 3,500 of them, which is an exaggeration. But the guy next to him is Justin Verlander. That's why I'm wearing the Verlander jersey. Homage to the great JV. But when you look at Verlander, who really has like 23 or 2,800 strikeouts, I don't remember exactly. Verlander is only halfway, Ash, halfway to the strikeout total of Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
The two pitchers that you saw in your lifetime, if you're an adult, that you will never, ever see again, individually, like in reality, or people of their caliber, you will never, ever see again a pitcher like Roger Clemens or a pitcher like Nolan Ryan. It doesn't exist. Proud to say they're both Texans, and Texans always answer the call. There you have it.
Big series, Astros. I don't think the Astros are out of it if they don't win this series this weekend.
Correct.
But I think the Rangers will be.
But it has a playoff feel.
It does.
This series has a playoff feel.
And the Rangers went and shored up their bullpen and got some depth at catcher, making a trade. He gave up a low A shortstop, a guy named Arredondo, for a couple of guys who are in the majors with the Angels, which doesn't mean much. It's like a AAA team. But so basically they got a couple of minor leaguers for a minor leaguer.
Right.
But the Rangers are already making moves, trying to shore up their team. They're not willing to spend like the Astros. They've got a lot of money already tied up in players, but they're willing to make moves. But I think if the Astros win this series, the Rangers season is all but over.
I agree 100%.
They can come back. The Astros have enough wherewithal and experience that if they leave this weekend being 2.5 back or whatever it would be, I guess 3.5.
They can still make it happen. They're not going to lose all three.
I don't think so either. In fact, I think they're going to win at least 2 out of 3.
I agree 100%. They'll be up a game and a half, something like that.
But they're a team that has enough resilience and veteran-led fortitude to still be in the playoff.
100%.
But the Rangers, it could be a blow to them because they were playing well a week ago and then they've kind of fallen off. So big series this weekend, going to be a fun one to watch, and we'll see where it all shakes out come Saturday or Sunday afternoon. I think at 1:00 start for the finale at Daikin. If you want to catch tickets or catch the game, tickets still available.
Not that I would ever toot my own horn ever. So humble.
Astros have won 8 of 9.
It's one of my best qualities. Is it 8 of 9 or 7 of 8?
8 of the last 9.
I think it may be 7 of 8. I could be wrong. When Jeremy Pena first came back, I told you that I thought that the Astros might reel off 10 in a row. And they've now won. If it's 8 of 9 or 7 of 8, I mean, yes, I was right. I understand. But just walk right on in. We're shameless. Just walk right on in. You're not hurting anything.
No, set those over there.
Yes, put those over
thank
there.
You. Right there.
That's perfect.
Perfect spot for him.
What
Thank you. Appreciate
guy.
that. Bobby Leister, Scott Tomko, and Greg Garcia on the podium this morning. Thank you all for checking in. Glad you're all here.
As promised, as promoted, we have invited. There's David Ballard. I just saw that name. Hey, buddy. We just have invited in Michael Gajardo to talk to us about the card show that you guys had.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you want to do a little camera work? I want you to give me the skinny just straight from the start. I mean, we've been talking about the Astros here and championship pursuits and all those things. Where are you and how was the show?
Amazing. We had an amazing turnout. The community showed up. I mean, we were prepared for 7 people, but I'll tell you, it was more like 1,000 people that showed up.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
That's
yes,
awesome.
Yes.
That's
yes.
a Brother Gary Moses thing, and that's what, and I like, was it David Hartman said it the other day?
Come and go.
Yeah, no, in and out. That's what, and Gary did that. Gary did that to make us feel better. We did a deal on the square a couple of years ago, and we're going to do it again. But we didn't do it. We did it because it was going to be fun, which is kind of like your hobby. But we had a party, and I
think it was the first event down there, maybe.
Yeah, we had one of the first events at the new pavilion thing over here.
Okay.
And what do they call that? the Wade and Carter Pavilion, and we invited a whole bunch of folks. And I think probably when it was all said and done, you think 300 is a good number?
Probably somewhere there.
Probably had 300 people. Realistically, 300. There was an event that night at the
across the way,
the Welder Center, and a lot of people, Calvin and Rena, a lot of folks walked over after that event.
Oh, nice.
And we had a band, and it was fun. It was just fun to put on an event. We enjoyed hosting it. But Brother Gary, who was always super supportive of everything we did, he said, I bet you there was 500 in and out, 500 in and out. Because people came and people left, and at any one moment there might be 300 people there, but he called it in and out. There, so 1,000 people in and out at a card show is good.
It was,
and that's really, typically the traffic at a card show.
It was really good. I mean, when the traffic came in, it's like it never stopped. And then I remember seeing people when they came in, and then we're running around talking to people, talking to vendors, getting feedback from the community. And then I see a guy that left, and he's like, I left and came back. My son wanted to come. My wife wanted to come check it out. It was amazing. We just had
he went back and talked about how great it was to his family.
That's awesome.
So what were the most popular collectibles or cards?
So the highlights were, we had Pokemon sports cards, TCG, Star Wars, and we even had a guy selling Garbage Pail Kids, which was, it was crazy because nostalgia back in the day. I remember those. Collecting those.
They were stickers, weren't they?
Yes, and he did very well. We had a lot of people ask for Star Wars. We actually had someone selling Star Wars. We had no idea, but the ins and outs, a lot of deals going down.
So there was a lot of trading and swapping, and
a lot of trading, swapping.
What did you do? What moves did you make?
I picked up some Michael Jordan. Obviously, his market goes up. Every week, every other week, he's in that market with Kobe Bryant. The guys from way back when.
How does LeBron do in that space?
For me, he's third because it goes Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. But
I think you're right. By the way,
he sells amazing. LeBron has a market that is still going strong. Of course,
he's got 19 different jerseys. Right. So if you get a piece of a game-worn jersey, collect them all.
Yeah,
you might get the full jersey.
I did witness a deal with a local here in town, and it was a $1,500 deal with a Nick Kurtz.
He got a baggie of weed and a Nolan Ryan rookie card.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun day. The community showed out, and the vendors showed up, and overwhelmingly we had a good response from the community saying that when you guys are going to do this again, we hope you do it. This is great for the community. We've never had this before, and we have, but it's just been 38, 40 years ago.
No, that's awesome.
Right.
So that's our next question. When are you going to do this again?
December 5th.
That's what I'm talking about. Come on back, and it'll grow. You got to build on that momentum.
We are, and we're trying to build it, and we're not trying to capitalize. We're just trying to put together a really good show to bring to the community and for the vendors and the experience of it.
You do a deal like that. You go down and throw down just a quick, quiet $1,500 deal at a card show. That's like me shopping at Waterloo over here with all the fishing rods. They're asking me all the time, Carter, you want a receipt? No, I don't want any evidence of what I spent here.
Except your Waterloo is not going to appreciate in value.
No, they're like, Brent, why do you pay in cash? I'm not stupid. I'm married.
So we have cash, but then there's a new trend going around where car dealers and card shops and whatnot will give you two receipts. One, what you actually pay for it, and one you can show your wife when you get home. That's awesome. Right?
So it's a husband friendly. Yes. Speaking of that, what was the mix? Were there some ladies there?
I'll tell you this. We had a very good mix of there were husbands and wives, there were dads and sons, and the whole family was there.
That's awesome.
Had strollers. We created a space where we wanted that. We wanted the family and the community to all come out. And then we had a gentleman come up to us and said, I spent the entire day with my son here.
That's awesome.
And it was amazing. So,
well, one thing that you look at, say, for example, the car hobby.
His visitation pass.
Right. That's right. Don't ignore that ankle bracelet. No, but it was the hobby, the car hobby. It ends up being an adult-driven hobby, right? Because you got to be old enough to drive
because my allowance used to get me 5 packs of hockey cards and a Slurpee and a candy bar, and now this doesn't happen.
That's the case though. The card game, and I think, no offense, because when you're obviously an adult, you're obviously investing even.
Yes,
but it's a kid's game. You get to play a kid's game, and it takes you back.
Yes. the future of the hobby is the kids.
Absolutely.
And that's where we want to take it. I know you're a hockey fan, and I tell you, we had someone there selling hockey.
Really?
So the young guns. I don't know any of the names because that's not my space.
They're all Ovechkin,
Lemieux, right? We didn't have any of those floating around.
The dreaded Frenchman, Mario Lemieux.
Right, but what they call the rookies is the young guns, right? And we had a few people that had the young guns rookies out there. I didn't have any use for him, but I think you would have had some use for him because I know you're a hockey guy.
He's got this guy went into like some, just like when Goodwill gets tired of stuff, they send it to this place. And somebody called him and said, "Hey, I got this Wayne Gretzky jersey. True story.
Yeah,
red story. For like $5.
$2.
$2. No, look, it wasn't like this is a Verlander jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was $100, but it doesn't have the Astros patch on it. And it's not the $400 real jersey,
mm-hmm.
but it's a real jersey. It's just not the jersey.
Right.
Well, his Team Canada is the jersey. It's like what you would have bought at the event. I have no idea if it was a
87.
If it was a $500 back then, it might have been a $150 jersey, but it's the real thing.
Yes,
the letters are sewn on; they're not like applique it's real.
And it's got the tie downs in the back, so
So basically, it's game worn.
It's a game,
not quite game worn, but it's
game worthy. He could have put it on. $2. $2.
Yeah.
That's a steal right
there.
there.
A steal.
He'll wear it forever, and it'll probably still be worth $100.
Yeah. It's definitely worth more later on.
I've Scotch guarded the heck out of it.
So for the kids and for now, I can just see the ladies in the audience right now are thinking about getting into this hobby. Where would you, if I could go out today
mm-hmm.
and buy, does Topps still make cars? Does Donruss still make cars?
They're
Who
all
makes the baseball
they're
card?
All Topps.
Topps makes the baseball card.
Topps.
If I was on the search.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a rookie card that would cause you to have to think about who the great rookies are, though. Is there a Topps card
mm-hmm.
that you're like, man, if you find one of these, give me a call? I mean, of the modern cards, like if my kids today go and buy a box of Topps.
Tariq Screwball.
This is going to be a stretch, but Screwball, Shohei Ohtani is the top elite chase right now for everybody. I don't know if it's in Topps. I'll have to check this out and maybe text you guys back. But right now there is a bounty for the Aaron Judge and the Shohei Ohtani Logo Man card. It's the chase of the season right now.
Now, what does a Logo Man card look like?
Well, it's basically like take your debut patch from your jersey that you wore. It's gold and it goes on the card with their insignia. Shohei did English and he did Japanese.
Oh,
Aaron Judge just did a regular signature.
Well, he doesn't speak Japanese.
Guys, guess what the bounty on that card is? Take a guess.
$3,000.
$12 million is the bounty on that card. The last one
is the full patch on it, or just the peach?
I'll send you guys a picture of it. But
send me a picture.
The last one was, guys, the last one was pulled by a 10-year-old, 10 or 11-year-old.
That's awesome.
At Target from a blaster.
That is awesome, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. And $12 million is the bounty, and it keeps going up. Anybody
can play the game.
Yo, hey, absolutely.
We appreciate you coming by. You are the man. And I tell you folks this all the time. And Michael's my witness. It's that easy. You reached out to me via Messenger. Mm-hmm. Hey, I'd like to come on and promote an event. We immediately said, come on. Mm-hmm. There's no fee. We're not charging anybody to do this. It's part of our commitment to the format to share with the community what's going on. I'm thrilled that it was a success, and we absolutely want to promote it for you in December.
Thank you very much.
Are you going to try to go back to the same venue?
We are. We have a great partner with the Z venue and Mr. Gaddy's going forward, and we're going to continue to have it there as long as they'll have us.
That's awesome.
And we support local, and as we build and grow, we're going to have some bigger and better things coming for the show.
Awesome. Now look, so this is going to be, you may not get this joke, Ash may not even get this joke, but I'm just going to tell you.
Then is it really a joke if no one gets it?
Because our audience is so smart, they're going to get it. Look, if the city comes to you mm-hmm. and suggests that your show is so popular that they've hired someone else to run it for you, just say no. Okay.
Well, they won't come to you. They won't come to you until
I will share this. Since we wrapped, there's and again, there's room in the hobby for everybody. And you know, we love the hobby. We want everybody to get along and whatnot. But since we wrapped, there's probably about 12 to 16 other promoters that want to come out and do what we did.
Right.
And again, we didn't do it for clout. We didn't do it for the money. We didn't do it for anything. We did it because we wanted to put on something special for the Crossroads and for the hobby. So,
well, I think you guys are terrific, and we appreciate you coming back and sharing with us.
Appreciate you,
That's
man.
Michael Guajardo. Michael, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll show you how the pros do it. Take a quick break. We gave you a blank screen. You can walk straight out. You've got nothing to hide, brother. Thank you for coming in. Folks, USA call me anytime, babe. USA Foundation Repair. If you're
578 Homes, the number to call.
If your slab leans, if your doors don't close right, you got cracks in your sheetrock, that's indicative of a foundation problem. All you have to do is dial 578 Home. Charlie Garcia will come out for free, and I'm telling you, when we first started advertising for him, that wasn't free.
No, it wasn't.
For free, and he will give you, but we said it was for free, and he honored it. And that's the kind of family run business that is. Good morning, Mama. I hope you're doing great. Vera Cruz Restaurant, Vera Cruz, inviting you in on a Chicken Fried Friday. Get in there today. It's the last day of the week to have great, the best Tex-Mex in town. Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Allen's your go-to tow-to. Allen's will help you get from here to there, from pretty much anywhere within the sound of our voice in the No Bull Network. Whether you're in Calhoun, DeWitt, Goliad, Gonzales, Karn City, Atascosa, B, Frio, Jim Hogg, all those counties, and especially Victoria County, Refugio County, they have a depot in Refugio. Call 578-6300 for Allen's Wrecker Service. Went Services, turnkey generator service. If you need a whole house generator from Generac, an American company, reach out to Went Services. Tammy Keeling asks, who's the best restoration auto body work place? That's Atzenhofer. They got a shop to take care of everything you need.
There aren't many in Victoria that at least affiliated with dealerships that do body work.
That's exactly right. So let's just cut right to the chase. Give me mic 3 right there. We're joined, as we often are, and proudly, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Texas District 30 State Representative A.J. Louderback, America's Sheriff. Welcome back, sir.
Good morning.
How have you been?
Been well. Been busy.
Good.
Been on the road a little bit, but it's all part of representing.
Yes, sir. Well, nobody. We joke about it sometimes because it's fun to just try to find the levity, but nobody that we know and really works any harder at this than you do. I mean, you've always said, you said it before you were even elected, you can't represent the people unless you're out among the people. And man,
You're out among the people.
One day you're in Matagorda, the next week you're over here, the next week you're up there, you're having breakfast with the blue hairs in Cuero, whatever it takes.
Well, I truly believe that. I believe that representation is how you define it. And so I felt like all through my elected career that I'm a service guy, and that's just part of the package.
Absolutely. I'm trying to think.
By the way, just so you don't get lumped into a phrase that wasn't your phrase, Brent referred to the crowd in Cuero as blue hairs.
Yeah, no. That's the Republican women of DeWitt County. He's just rock solid with those folks. Yeah. Oh, but it is. There's no getting around. My mother's here watching the show. There's just no getting around the fact.
Hey, Mom.
The fact that when AJ walks in the room, the ladies are like, "There's AJ, there's AJ Louderback."
Swoon.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's like
y'all both need to stop.
Okay, yes, sir. I think he's blushing. What's going on? What's the latest?
Let me guess. Data centers. That's what everybody wants to talk about.
Well,
water.
Actually, yes, you can put data centers in there. You can put a number. You can put 765 kV lines. You can put AI centers. You can put the battle there that's royal here in Texas, and it's kind of a center point for the nation. Yesterday, we had a very interesting foreign adversaries committee meeting from Homeland Security. where we had about 6 panels of noted experts from the state that were, and some very, very articulate, well-educated people about our adversaries, namely China. That is the number one name that surfaces each and every time. There's others. There's a whole list of about 7 countries that are foreign, listed as foreign adversaries. But we've never seen anything to the depth that where what China will do to gain information here in Texas and the United States. So it's a anywhere there's U.S. assets, it seems like there's going to be Chinese influence on the gathering of information, intelligence. It's designed to inhibit what's going on here in the United States.
I thought about you, sir, the other day. I heard it was someone in Congress. I mean, there's been so much activity lately. It was either Hawley or Rand Paul, one of these guys. And they referred to something you've always helped me think when it comes to the cartels and things like that, going way back. I mean, I can remember 5-6 years ago, we were at Victoria Country Club watching those guys that were the guys that took down, pick one of the bad guys. Who was it?
Pablo.
You remember those guys, and they just told the story that, it's almost like a government structure just without borders, and the idea that, the cartel's in Mexico. No, the cartel's in Kansas City, and you need to understand it. And you helped me understand that way back when and get my head around it. But one of the guys said from Congress was talking about China, and he said the communists are fighting a biological war in the United States and using and funding the cartel to poison the American people. And when you think of it like that, the Chinese get the fentanyl to Mexico, or to whoever in the cartel. Maybe it's Kansas City. Yeah. It's probably easier to get it to somebody in a foreign country, and then they mule it over here, and they're using it to poison our people systemically. It's what they're trying to do.
Oh, it's and they're doing it. They've been doing it for decades, and it's I don't think most Texans and Americans really pause to think about the actual scope and focus of the Chinese Communist Party. And I think it's as of yesterday, even in our electrical grid, we have so many vulnerable points in our electrical grid, and it's a situation where, when your lights don't come on and you can't buy fuel and different things like that, you're looking at, within 3 weeks, you're looking at a potentially chaotic civil unrest.
Well, here's some of the things that people don't realize and that the Chinese are doing. And I've done enough digging on this stuff, but really, China doesn't let anybody out of the country they don't want to let out of the country. And they've gone into our universities and stolen our intellectual property. We've known that because we've seen, where universities like UCLA was one of them, where they just said, hey, we got a bunch of stuff missing that's sensitive. And all of a sudden the Chinese researchers that were working on it just disappeared. They're gone, right? Yeah. We know that they bought a bunch of social media advertising in the last couple of election cycles, presidential election cycles, 2020 specifically. And then in the last one, but we know they're ramping up the fear against data centers. They're funding some of that. However you stand on them, there's no denying the fact that China is anti-U.S. data center because they're building them by the gazillions. They're almost as proliferate as they're putting up coal plants. But they're also into stoking the fears of the uncertainty of the electrical grid in this country. They get so deep into the weeds of all of the political messaging, of all the key things that, and I don't even know if they're key things until they start ramping up the negative messaging to make Americans afraid of these things. Blackouts, brownouts. Oh, your grid is going to fail. The Chinese are pushing a lot of that propaganda or anti-propaganda
every minute of every day. And so it's the message to your listeners is that you need to be cognizant of outside influences here. And so, look at the defense industry. Look at what's going on in Iran right now today. I'm not sure if the average Texan understands just exactly how our weapons systems are tied to AI. And so the battle between data centers and information storage and data storage capacity and capability is directly tied to the defense industry.
All the textbooks our students use that are online, they got to be stored somewhere, and that's what a lot of these data centers do.
Yeah, they store data.
Yeah.
Well, and I think so many people like to think of data center and they think AI and they don't understand AI and they're like, well, it can be manipulated. That's terrible. But it also drives your GPS driven your Waze app, your global, your Google Earth. It drives everything that data centers do.
You're right. You're right, Brent. I mean, I think in the coming years, as we start realizing the full weight of what AI represents to the world is going to change things.
Well, what's interesting, there's 300 of them already in the state of Texas. They didn't just pop up overnight in the last year or so as these things became big, but they've been here forever because our phones are 20 years old and the apps have been utilizing the cloud, as we used to refer it, for all of this storage of data and everything else. So the data centers have been here as long as we've had pocket phone technology.
Yeah. Apps came up yesterday as a prime source of Communist Party use.
I noticed one. There's a data center on the Beltway 8 closest to us. If you go in on 59 and you're going north on the Beltway, so on your right, inside the loop, if you will, all of a sudden you see this. It's right up against the freeway, and it looks like the size of, say, a Walmart distribution center. I mean, it's a huge building, and about every 25 feet, there's an AC type unit. And I'm like, that's a data center. I never noticed it before, but that's what it is.
Sound like an air cooled.
Yes, sir. Right in the middle of town, but I also noticed objectively there were no protesters around it. It didn't appear to be any louder than anything else. And that technology is only getting better and better and better. It seems to me you can either adapt and adjust to technology or you can get passed up. And while I may say, I use the example of we always need a landfill. I don't want it in Terra Vista. Okay, I'm good with that. If you don't want data centers in your backyard because they may be too loud, okay, that's fine. But I think that Texas as a state has got to embrace this technology or get left behind.
Well, I think we will, but I think the message here, and the governor's, has sent out two messages about the entire growth of Texas. So what we're looking at here is unparalleled growth, waves of growth that are coming to Texas. And I think we can handle that smarter. I think we can handle that. Data centers are somewhat the focus of things because the use of water is a key component. The older data centers used a lot of water.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of power. So ERCOT testified yesterday, and that's simply not the case moving forward from 26. But I think we're going to have to look because all this is tied into one package here, growth of Texas. The 765 lines, which are designed to put more electrical power into our grid in West Texas. But we do have a line that's coming straight, from the Oasis to San Patricio County on up to Houston from here, which we have two 765 lines, one there, and we'll have another one in Wharton. So we'll have that's what the Gulf Coast will have. So, but I'm getting complaints from a lot of citizens about the amount of acreage that they're taking up, which when it comes to things like this, and you can't live around them because it's the electrical discharge there is so great. So it's unsafe, but they're taking 400 feet of easement. So you're looking at a tremendous amount of legacy land lost again, which kind of feeds into my overall picture of I've never been a fan of wind and solar.
Me either.
I've always thought it was a poor choice and from the Obama administration, but it's been well funded. And you can't blame the citizens of Texas for renting their land or selling their land out for wind and solar, but it's taking legacy land and removing it from use, because once you put a solar farm on there, that land is essentially done.
Right. You can't graze cattle underneath a solar farm. Are you? I don't think it's news to anybody. You're probably catching intense opinion, and sadly, this is my caveat, from a largely ignorant population, which includes me. I don't know enough about data centers to have a strong opinion either way. Do you feel, how would you rate the "I'm all for it, AJ, let's go" versus the "not in my town, I hate you, AJ"? How are you weighing
it's in my mind, it's pretty simple. It's pretty logical. Look, we need to look at this problem like Texans. We need to solve this problem like Texans. So if we're going to take a tactical pause right now, we've got essentially 5 months till the session starts. 4 months.
Do you anticipate a special session this fall to deal with data centers?
Right now, I don't think. I was around a number of members yesterday, and we're pretty well think we're past that time. So it appears that we're going to be back in January. No data centers are going to be built, prior to that. But I think we'll take a look at the 765 lines, the data centers, and come up with some smart solutions. Maybe some rerouting of some of the 765 lines in West Texas, and maybe there's 5 proposed routes on the Gulf Coast. So maybe we can look, but let's go back and take a look at this tactical pause, kind of, and be smart about it. Let's be efficient about it. Let's do what Texas citizens want. And I'm listening all the time.
Well, you had a big one that was just paused in East Texas that people are saying, well, the governor's not taking a strong enough stance. Well, he just put in some measures, and obviously it was enough for this one in East Texas to say, you know what, we're not coming.
Linda Chris says wind and solar are diversions from what we should be doing, which is nuclear. Is there a chance that the Wade and Carter solution, which was to go out into West Texas into quote unquote state-owned land, and or another way to look at it, no man's land to a degree, there's some West Texas, dirt, build a nuclear plant, put all the data centers out there, and rock and roll? I mean, could this in theory solve Texas grid problem?
Well, I think it'll solve a portion of it, because an industrial complex of this magnitude is certainly something that everyone's looked at. So the power requirements, even as now a data center, even a mid-sized data center, is going to have to bring its own power, because they're not going to be allowed access to the grid. So we've got to protect the grid. We've got to keep it. It's our own grid. It's ours. We're not. We own that.
We're not tied in.
No, we're not tied into
Oklahoma or anybody else.
No. But let's be smart about this. Let's look at this. Citizens are saying let's stop, pause for a minute, take a look at what's going on, and if there's some better choices, let's look at them. And so I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's a lot of the rural communities are on fire about this, and so I think
aren't there others that are clamoring to get them?
We do.
Can we satisfy both? Hey, the people of X county want them, we'll put them over there.
My thought's always been that if you don't want them, fine, let's go where you can. It's just kind of an interim period. Yeah. Let just go where you're wanted.
Well, it's funny. I was talking with a gentleman out in West Texas last week, and there's they've got a couple of data centers in around where he lives up outside of Amarillo. And it's funny because he says, the ones that seem to be the most against it are the ones who are mad that their neighbors sold them the land and they didn't sell them the land. There's some petty jealousy in there because somebody else made the deal they didn't want to do. And then when they saw the dollar figure, they're like, oh crap. Now they're mad about it.
A portion of Jonathan Williams' comments is, well, do we want our data in Texas or China? Your choice. China has free build. So, yeah. What, What else? If we ever get past data centers and water, what else is there going on? What are you seeing?
I'd say statewide, there's another small fire burning that's growing, and that's the KV lines, the electrical requirements. So we only 3% of our power here in Texas comes from nuclear. Of course, I'm a fan of nuclear power. I think it's the cleanest, smallest footprint now with small nuclear reactors.
Right, it's green. It's green energy. Nothing burns. There's no pollution.
Well, I tell you, but we're probably decades from having that. And so more reliable sources of energy production, I think we ought to pursue. But
natural gas.
You got to understand that 37% of our daily electrical grid power comes from wind and solar. So Texas bought into the Green New Deal heavily.
Yeah, that's
heavily, and it's growing. I mean, we've got 20,000 acres south of Victoria into Calhoun County that's going to
just covered with solar panels.
Well, it's going to be 74 wind turbines.
Oh,
so
how many acres?
About 20,000
for 74 turbines.
Yeah, 74 turbines,
what a waste
and maybe
of
more to
land.
come. Which, by the way, all those turbine components are made where?
China.
Yeah,
and they're all made out of petrochemicals. Here's what gets me: you can drive from here to, I do it often, from here to Rockport, and you pass those wind farms. 70% of them are stained on the shaft, the tower, where the oil leaks out of them, and it has to be replenished. So it's a petrochemical product that uses petrochemicals that pollutes the soil. They put out a mist of oil when that turbine's going, and none of the leftists care.
I mean, the list that goes into the building of one wind turbine is phenomenal.
Well,
it'll never pay for itself.
Historically, it's funny if you look back to the 70s and 80s when we were still firing coal plants and Europe was turning to nuclear power, and we were trying to convince India to turn to nuclear power, and they did. They bought a lot of reactors from Canada, the U.S., but Europe was pressuring the U.S. to go nuclear, and we resisted. Then all of a sudden, they throw a bunch of money. Governments throw a bunch of money into wind and solar
subsidies,
and Europe turns away from nuclear power into these green energies. Now they're having troubles with them. The so-called green energies. The greenest energy really is nuclear, if you look at it at all. But it's funny how when you look at it, the money that was poured into wind and solar in Europe is driving their push for the U.S. to join them, when 30 years ago they were trying to get us to go join them on the nuclear train.
Yeah, I mean, and part of this equation too, which in Matagorda County we've got a large BESS there, which is battery storage, where the battery storage goes into wind and solar because when it's not hot and when the wind's not blowing, and during the winter months, solar is very poor, 3%.
Right.
So huge battery storage takes care of that gap. So sometimes the wind doesn't blow.
Right.
So,
rarely, but sometimes.
Yeah. So anyway, it's it's your environment, and so battery storage poses a significant issue, especially for our fire departments. I mean, because when they even the containment areas that they're built around, which are extensive, we have great standards for that. But if a battery fire breaks out, it's not going away.
Right.
And we have no known method, to contain it. It's going to burn. We've got to contain it because we can't put it out.
Well, look at that big warehouse fire a couple of months ago in LA that had all those solar panels on the roof, and it was the solar panels themselves and some of the batteries on that building that
had all that meat.
Yeah. That caused the problems. It wasn't the meat burning and the building. It was the solar power or the solar panels and the battery.
And
made in China.
They're both solar panels and the wind turbines are horrific to dispose of. You just don't take a 200-foot turbine wing, and what are you going to do? Cut it up with a chainsaw and put it in a landfill? I mean,
Yeah, we've got a huge storage facility in Sweetwater, Texas, which is littered with the remains of this. And essentially, all of the wind turbines are going to have to be buried. So
it's just terrible.
That's the
terrible.
only known method that they have. And and I've contended for a long time that when the solar panels run out, who's going to remove them from your property? Who's going to take care of that? What about the bankruptcies? What about the going out of business? What about how?
You know what it'll be like, and it just made me think of our friend Sarah Stogner.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be just like when Chevron abandoned a well out in the Permian Basin, and it's still, it doesn't produce anymore, but it still puts about a barrel a day onto the ground. You're going to have these turbines out there and every now and then you see one. You're driving down, and 15 of them are turning, but 3 aren't. Well, who's going to take them down? The guy that put them up with a government subsidy is not going to come back and take them down.
Yeah, we're visiting with Texas District 30 State Representative AJ Louderback. I find it interesting that now, because we've had some rain, the media has completely moved off of desalination, water issues in the state of Texas. But I can't imagine that you, especially in this part of the state, or other lawmakers have abandoned the water problems in Texas, right?
No,
it's just not the case.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, this will be in January 14th, 12th. I think we will commence with a session, which will be known as a water session. So the water is so significant, especially in our area, because of Corpus's mishandling of the water situation there.
Only for a couple of decades.
Yeah. So it's but desalination, we think, is going to become a federal project, which is probably very appropriate for that. But I think as we try to find the balance, the rain, everything, lakes are full, so we're in good shape right now. But there'll be another drought, and how we manage water. I mean, literally, we've got some counties that don't even have a water district.
Yeah,
and so I mean,
like Bloomington.
That's that could be a serious issue.
But it is funny how the environmentalists especially have a Chicken Little mentality. The sky is falling. We're in a drought. The lake is about to go dry. It's over. It's over. Lake Travis is full for the first time, we find out, in 7 years. Our memory is so short. That 7 years, it's the end of the world. It's been 7 years since the lake was 100% full. Yeah. Well, it's full.
Well, let's see if we've learned anything this time, and let's see if we can conserve some water so that we don't have to get to 7 years down the road, and our lakes are half full instead of empty.
Our buddy Mark Kurtz, your friend Mark Kurtz, comes in and says, "Why don't we just build the border wall with scrap windmill blades?" I like that.
That's a great idea.
A great idea. Just sharpen the edge. You can climb it. You're going to die, but you can climb it.
That's the way to be thinking.
What do you make of we don't need new laws, we just need a new president? How about our border just being sealed? Is that awesome?
Well, I mean, he did it once. He's done it twice now. And as we watch the world burn, yesterday,
Spain,
we see what's going on with mass migration everywhere.
Well, think about it.
It's migration now, right? They're just like they're like antelope. They're migrating.
Well, they're letting them in.
Yeah.
They're letting them
in. And here's the interesting part. They were coming here across the Atlantic Ocean, through the Darien Gap, all the way up. Now all they got to do is just basically hop on the Rock of Gibraltar and then hop back off to get into Spain.
Yep.
And they're there. It made no sense.
From Morocco.
Yeah. It made no sense for them to come all the way across the Atlantic, or they could just take a sidestep and go up through Turkey and around that way.
We're beginning to see the pushback, though.
Here, James Kerr, by the way, James Kerr spent 8 years above 4 nuclear reactors, like on places like the USS Enterprise, and he thinks that he wasn't affected. James Kerr does point out that he goes, Cornyn's more interested in sending money to Africa. He is now, because he's being dispatched, he's now openly doing what he's always done behind the scenes, which is just embarrass Texans. I'll leave it to you. Explain to us how massively important it is that Texans, whether they like Ken Paxton or not, vote against James Tallarico?
Well, I think it's imperative. The Democrats have always shown an intense interest. I mean, you just have to go back a few short years ago to look back at the Beto issue versus Ted Cruz, which we won by an excess of 200,000 votes. But closer than what Republicans wanted,
Yes,
but still a
sir.
pretty decisive victory, 200,000 plus votes. And so I think we're looking at a race now because I think that James Tallarico, he's got a real problem. He is tied, he's handcuffed to his record, and so your record as a lawmaker is significant, and what you say at the mics, that's significant, and what you how you pick your words. These are things that Tallarico is bought and paid for.
He's done a tremendous job. I mean, politically speaking, we just rate his effort. He's done a great job of kind of verbally backtracking
Trying to.
on the things that he is handcuffed to.
He's trying to.
I didn't mean that God was non-binary. I didn't mean, I didn't mean there were really 6 genders. I mean, the guy is a nut job.
Yeah. Rented a truck.
That's what we're gonna get your help to get us. We're gonna get Steve Toth on. He had a really great, and to a degree, he doesn't have a dog in this fight, right? He's a state rep from the Woodlands, but he's running for Congress.
Yes.
And I think he's willing to come on our program, even though we can't vote for him, which just tells you a lot about him being a Texan and a patriot. But he's going to come on and talk to us at some point.
He is that. I enjoyed serving with Steve. He was a stellar member.
Is it true that you once tripped James Tallarico in the rotunda?
I don't know that he got that close to me.
That's right. Yeah. You make it's like it burns. Yeah. It burns when AJ looks at me.
It is interesting that, the left is always, well, you're a Trump supporter. You must be a rapist. You must be a fascist. You must be a Nazi. You must be, name it,
fascist.
Right? Fascist. Well, you name it. That they try to tie you to him or paint you with a brush because you like Trump or you believe in his stance. And I'm surprised the Texas Tribune exposed this because it just doesn't make a lot of sense. But where's the left in the obvious tie between James Tallarico and Reid Hoffman, the founder of LinkedIn, and his longtime relationship with Jeffrey Epstein? I mean, the ties are stronger to Epstein and Epstein's Island with Hoffman than they ever were to Trump post his 2008 sex offender conviction. Going all, and I mean, multiple lengthy stays on the island. And when you look at the guy, this guy couldn't walk into a singles bar and find a woman that would be attracted to him because he's a goofy looking guy. And the left isn't even making this connection.
No, because he's on the left.
Well, lies, and more lies, misinformation, lawlessness. These are the hallmarks of the current Democratic Party. And so my prediction is that General Paxton will win and going away. It may not be by the numbers we want, and it'll be a struggle. I've gotten some calls yesterday about the different TV ads and things that are going on that General Paxton will be commencing here pretty quick. But it's the Democrats have poured millions into this race as they always have.
Right.
So this is not anything new. They've always valued a Senate seat in Texas to be a tremendous jumping off point.
And I know that you spend all your time immersed with state stuff, but Ash and I have both observed there is a really distinct difference in the willingness to get to work between the United States House and the United States Senate. I think in general, the United States Senate is a do-nothing bunch of elitist idiots. I really do, and that's not fair. I hope that when Ken Paxton gets there, he says, "What are we doing?"
Well, Speaker Johnson there in the U.S. House has done a tremendous job. He's a scholar. He's a constitutional lawyer. He's teaches quite regularly, and he's got some very, very, very good views on things. And he's done a real good job of uniting the Republican caucus there in the House. And so good things. The margin is pretty thin there, but
Right.
I think he's firmly in control of what's going on there. The Senate, John Thune, not real sure. President's upset with him. That
He has been. Thune could do a lot to help.
I mean,
that, that
we're
pretty much sums it up.
6
there.
years post-COVID, and the Senate finally gets around to a hearing.
Yeah.
So here's two opposing sides. We have Peter McNally says Tallarico has a very good chance to win in November. Wait until the debates. And Junior says because the non-property owners always vote for Santa Claus with tax money. The reality is I don't think Tallarico has much of a chance to win. And Peter McNally, you are our poster child of the well-meaning, conscientious Democrat who probably thinks more like Kennedy and Clinton than Tallarico. And at the same time, I can't believe that you personally are going to vote for James Tallarico.
And you and many like you defend the communists in your party. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't.
This is anti-American.
By the way, we have invited Jewel Buchanan, the Democrat chairman, to come on our program, and she keeps giving Ash pushback that she doesn't think she'll be treated fairly.
And her schedule's too full.
She's very full schedule, very full. They're doing posters and things.
Well, maybe she'll show. Maybe she'll come.
I hope she does. I hope she.
Let's hope so.
So
I've invited her all the ways we can get on this show. She could call in. She could come into the studio, or we can provide her a Zoom-like link.
Y'all have been very accommodating for years for all candidates.
We got painted with a broad brush when we got into a heated discussion with Cody Sugared about 8 years ago. We were still fairly new
over a school bond.
Over the school bond. Since then, I think we have been very fair to most guests that come on the show, if not all guests.
We were learning.
Those that have called in, we've let them hang themselves with the rope that we've let them grab onto and run with because we have no agenda to expose people. We let them expose themselves.
I think y'all been very civil about things. I mean, you're able to come in. You may professionally disagree, which I think is okay. And I think that some of that is lost sometimes. But what the Democrats represent today, and as we see an implosion with the Democrats right now, on the wrong side, almost every issue that we have, and so it's Mr. McNally, I've talked to him before, fine gentleman, but he's representing a party that
doesn't exist.
That left him. It doesn't exist anymore.
So
it's being taken over by the communists.
If you think that Texas is going to support men and women's sports, I mean, are you kidding me?
Right.
I mean, how do you think that's going to work out here?
It's not.
And James Tallarico has represented every radical leftist idea that's out there. I listened to him on the back mic. I mean, those are things he said.
Does the gentleman yield? For what purpose?
I think he's tied to that.
It's time for Texas to say no to Tallarico
again,
and we got to go.
Yep.
It's the top of the hour, sir. Thank you so much. We're always blessed.
Absolutely.
Went fast.
Access to our elected officials, access to anybody, Michael Guajardo, people that want to come in and talk about card shows. We run the gamut here. Go Astros. Thank you, Sheriff Louderback, for your coming here.
Enjoyed it. Appreciate y'all.
We love you. Bye, folks. Have a great weekend.
Bye, folks.